Just to start, I am Nicole Gamba, EFI Reggiani Product and Marketing Manager. And today I have the honor to represent EFI Reggiani in this presentation that would like really to put together many elements that we discussed in these 2 days. And so from one side, the big major trends that we are looking at with huge interest, the actual energy crisis, so the difficulties that our customers that are always at the center of any development, of any thought for the future are facing today, and so how we can help them today. And last, how technologies and innovation can really help to cope these 2 big souls, trends, but also the challenges that the textile industry is facing today. And before starting, EFI Reggiani. Reggiani was established in 1946, so a very long history, always in the textile world. We started with traditional printing machines, so a long evolution along the years. At the early 2000, EFI Reggiani at the time delivered to the market the first digital printer, and in 2015, joining EFI Electronics for Imaging, a Silicon Valley multinational company, really accelerated all the innovation process in terms of not only printers, but combine also own developed inks and adding up EFI expertise software skills as well, putting together a complete ecosystem to address our customer, our industry needs. But now, after this introduction, just to provide the general framework, let's go to the presentation. And the title, All the Shades of Digital Textile Printing, How Innovation Can Really Help Brands and Printing Providers Nowadays. I think that in these 2 days, we really, as also Gianluca was mentioning, we built an interesting puzzle. We put together many pieces. Some topics have been mentioned several times. Sustainability, short processes, pigment. We have heard a lot about that, but I think this is really confirming something that the industry is truly asking about. I won't spend a lot of words on contents that other valuable and expert colleagues have already shared, but I would like to point a quick attention to some of the reasons why sustainability, in our opinion, and I think in the shared opinion in this conference, is not just anymore a greenwashing. In fact, many things are changing. We have the great luck to still meet brands, sportswear brands, fashion brands, and what they bring more and more to our attention is the real need for certified green process and product sustainability labels. Yesterday we discussed about that topic, how also European Union will try to simplify all this process. So a big stakeholder, brands. The second big stakeholder in this transition, this green transition, are definitely governments. China a few years ago, and then slowed a little bit down during the pandemics, but European Union, maybe US in the future, we will see. Governments are more and more, however, putting attention and setting objectives in terms of emission reduction. A third big stakeholder, that is something that I started to hear really recently, is investors. In fact, starting from this year, US-based companies that are public at New York stock exchange, are required to have a true plan, a true program to cut their carbon emissions. So a new stakeholder is entering into this sustainability conversation, a rich stakeholder, the one who is putting money inside companies to grow. This will be a further crucial trigger towards sustainability in the industry, since ESG disclosure, sustainability reporting will be as much as important as the balance sheet of companies. So this will be a true push into the direction of sustainability. And the last I mentioned, definitely the first that I should have mentioned, since it is the one that triggers all the rest, and that Kornit explained us thoroughly yesterday about, is consumer. New generations are paying more and more attention to sustainability. They are a small percentage of buyers, of consumers, of our end users today. But this population will grow, bringing their own values, personalization, and also improve their impact on this earth. And so also this is basically, I think, the main trigger for all and the main pusher for all the other three stakeholders. The second big trend that we've mentioned that is really connected to sustainability, to processing in general, is product personalization. We've discussed that, how important, how creative, how people want to really be the real art directors of their lives. So define what they want to wear, have it manufactured, have it delivered at their houses. This is crucial. But also on-demand manufacturing is the key. We have discussed that yesterday as well, in order to improve efficiency and effectiveness, avoid big stocks, being able to personalize with a very short delivery time. And so, and at the same time, in a more sustainable way, reducing costs, but also reducing the impact of wrong collection, for instance, that are trashed simply because they are not responding to the actual the actual demand that consumers show in shops. So big trends, we have said many words in these 2 days about those. At the same time, however, I think that it's interesting to look at trends, long-term, medium-term trends, but we should always cope also with the current situation. We feel through our customers how energy costs, supply chain issues, materials availability and lead time and inflation are impacting on their ability to invest, but also simply on their ability to produce. I've heard here as well in side conversation how margins in an industry that is already challenging, like textile, are further compressed by the current challenges, huge challenges that we are put in front of. And so what we started to think about was really, how can we make sure, how can we serve better our customers that need to face these incredible challenges nowadays with the technology that we have? What can we do for them with what we have developed, maybe with other purposes, looking at the big macro trends, but that can be impactful, positively impactful today for them. So I thought about that and tried to summarize it for you today. The first area is about definitely innovation. Innovation is a key value for EFI, for EFI Reggiani. This is, I would say, what is driving any choice more than anything else. And technology was directed since 2018 and on for us toward reliability and uptime. We understand, in fact, that a printer can be fast and hardware can be performing, but not being able to also ensure that the uptime, so the availability of this equipment is high, is an incredible cost for our customers. So first area, ensuring that we are building a product that is to last, a product that is able to really avoid any surprise when it is going to run on the field. The second area that is part of the development strategy, but at the same time can really help already today our customers in the current situation, is the focus to short, and short is very important part of it, and green processes. We know that we have talked about pigment. We had a great speech yesterday about Dyson. And however, many times we are not really able to transfer to our customers, however, what's their cost benefit coming from this new solution. And so a closer look on how choosing short, choosing green can also provide benefits in terms of cost reduction besides the most important sustainability impact. And the third area is really about software. We have discussed about hardware, we have discussed about processes, inks and chemistries, but the other area where we think we can further serve our customers nowadays are through advanced factory analytics. So being able to make data available in an easy way to enable our customer to have a clear snapshot on their performances and take actions directly, looking at the numbers that are already there, that are already in the printer, but are not so easy to read sometimes. And last but not least, something that my colleague Luca earlier today mentioned earlier on, being able to provide more and more integrated workflows. And so making sure that also working and integrating color management can improve the overall process, the overall total cost of ownership for our customers. I mentioned as first contribution to our customer in this tough situation, I talked about reliability and uptime. These are two words that are not so fancy, that are not so sexy when you talk, absolutely. But in my opinion, are truly crucial when we talk to our customers that need to make profit coming from the investment they do. And they immediately correlate to the total cost of ownership, a concept that is, we started discuss a long time ago with our customers, since this is the real trigger for their choices. And many times, as you can imagine, as other competitors here are in the same situation, definitely, many times customers looking at Asian players, for instance, look at just two numbers, price of the printer, price of the ink. On the other side, we know very well, and we discover it every day, that those are the two most evident aspects. But there are many hidden costs, many hidden aspects that may impact directly on the total cost of ownership, making a business profitable or less profitable based on many other variables. For instance, printing quality you can get at a certain speed. If you need to slow down too much the printer to get the right quality, it's already a way you are not making profit in the right way. Printheads replacement costs, a big pain point, especially at the very early stage of digital printing, but still nowadays. Printheads remain the most important cost in the after-sales process. So after the printer is installed, printheads are the major pain points. Being able to control this is also directly impacting positively into the cost, the running cost of our customers. In consumption, not only when you print, but above all the ink that you lose for maintenance. This is impacting directly, is maybe a newcomer, someone that has never printed before, is never considering that. But all the ink you lose for purging activities, for maintenance, how many times a day you need to clean the printer, the printheads, to get the right quality. All this is a cost, a hidden cost, but a cost that is true to the customer when he's doing his calculation. And maintenance needs, of course, printer reliability, but also what I need to change in the printer, the time I spend on servicing it. And bearing all these aspects in mind, the decision taken from our side in terms of innovation was really to work on all these areas, introduce new technologies in order to enable to improve the uptime of the printer and its reliability. We introduced continuous ink recirculation system, and I will show you the effects in one slide in a few seconds. Higher uniformity printing mode, so working on software to improve printheads performances. Printed with recirculation till the nozzles, and so here dramatically cut all the ink that is lost for maintenance. Dramatically cut basically all the time lost to make sure that the printheads are in good shape in order to print. And last, one of the most recent additions, advanced factory analytics. So making sure that all the data in the printer, all the performances, printed performances, printing report are made available in an easy to use way for our customers. And especially about continuous ink recirculation system, I would really like to share with you the key benefits of it. We've measured it along the time, since it is a technology that now is established across our lineup since 2018. And what this shows is an increased tolerance to environmental conditions. We were able to expand the range of temperatures at which the printer can work. That means less air conditioning needs. That means a saving in terms of energy and a more sustainable impact to the environment. Second aspect, it's about quality. More constant and uniform temperature across the printhead. That translates immediately into superior quality, more accurate drop placement, no time loss for maintenance when nozzles are clogged, since this phenomenon is dramatically reduced. And above all, an actual reduced consumption of ink lost for maintenance, not the ink that is producing value, the one that is really then sold to the customers of our customer, but a ink that is functional to maintain the printheads, but after that, it's gone. It's a complete loss. We were able to cut this between 20 and 30% compared to previous platforms. And all this innovation had an immediate impact also on reliability. We measured ourselves against our own performances that are historically quite good in the market in terms of printer reliability. With all these innovations, we were able to cut by 50% the removal rate of printheads on our printers. This is an interesting topic to me since it means money, but it's also sustainability. Any printheads you scrap, it is creating something that you need to dispose. So an impact that is coming through hardware and through technology. I spent many words about hardware, but this morning I really loved the speech and the panel just before the lunch break, since we brought a topic that is key. Knowing data, having data handy is the way to improve. What companies need more than anything else is data availability. That's why also software was one of the areas of development for us. And we really, this spring, released to the market our new EFR Reggiani query. It is basically a local application that is enabling customers to look at all the printing, production, and printer data, including in what width they printed, how many printers they replaced, what was the performance of a particular shift, what's the ink consumption per color. All data there were inside the printer, but needed to be elaborated to be understood. Now they're available in an easy snapshot, in an easy interface, in order to facilitate that access and make our customers able to analyze, in order to measure, in order to further improve. And what is interesting is that this is a printer software that can also integrate all the Reggiani printers in a facility, being able so to put together and measure performances of different printers across the fleet that one company may have. We have discussed about hardware, about software, and now we come to one of the hot topics of these 2 days, printing processes. This chart is very similar to the one that you've seen in these 2 days, so I don't want to really spend too much time on that, since I would like to add something on that. But going short, going green, choosing processes that can reduce energy and water consumption along the process is crucial. It's crucial for sustainability, it's crucial for costs as well. And we have an established presence in reactive. It represents 50% of our installed base, basically. And it is still our main ink all around the world. However, what I think is that we should also try to look at new businesses that are rising, new demands that are raising in the industry. We have discussed for 2 days about that. That's why we have also started to look at pigment. However, pigment today, as we have seen in many cases, is still requiring pre or post treatment in order to enable performances that can satisfy the demand of the industry. And it is absolutely right. But this is also the reason why, with many years of work today, we were able to further improve this process. We have solution of pigment requiring pretreatment. What we really presented this spring is a completely new solution that is putting the entire printing process inside the printer itself. This is possible thanks to a pigment ink that is requiring no pretreatment, and also to the possibility to apply a finishing and the softener directly inside the printer's onboard dryer. This is a patent pending technology, something completely new, but that is really willing to enable those businesses that, from one side, don't have all the textile infrastructure and maybe are in areas of the world where textile is not available anymore, and they cannot invest in pre-treatment, post-treatment equipment, a solution that can solve with with one printer all the requirements. The second big aspect these days is also the fact that it can provide benefits in terms of costing as well. And we will see that in a few seconds. So this is something we have discussed, EcoTerra, an evolution of our previous pigment solution, an all-in-one solution with inline printing and finishing. Everything is happening inside the printer itself. No ancillary equipment for pre- and post-treatment are basically needed. Of course, it is customer's choice after that if they want or need to apply additional processes, but basically the printer can satisfy all their needs. It is creating an impact in terms of sustainability. In fact, the environmental footprint is cut. We don't have pretreatment, we don't need to wash afterwards. But it is also improving in terms of printers efficiency and printer water consumption. In fact, EcoTerra is cutting by 80% the water used inside the printer itself. You know that belted printer require water in order to clean the belt. This technology is also intervening in this area, cutting this water consumption that is in many cases something that customers are not so happy to, customers are not too happy to do, and that in many cases cannot even dispose. I think about North America, for instance. And all this, however, keeping always an eye to what the need of the textile industries are. And so excellent light fastness, of course, this is pigment, and I'm sure this can be shared all among the producers here, but also wet and dry fastness properties that are brought to a very interesting level. So able to satisfy what a textile demand is asking. Sharpness in details. Pigment is incredible in terms of details, accuracy, drop placement, and so perfect for also high quality design and imaging. And something that cannot be forgotten, a soft hand fill. This is made possible thanks to the inline finishing and softener applied directly inside the printer. This is making the solution versatile, so it can solve the interest of customer looking for a sustainable technology for fashion, for accessories, for outdoor, thanks to the highlight fastness, but also for home decoration. And at the same time, coping with the main trends that we have seen at the very beginning. Fast turnaround time for delivery on demand, no pre-treated fabric stock to be kept, so less costs, and significant energy and water saving along the entire process, in the printer and along the overall treatment cycle. And here, some preliminary data we could put together. Maybe they are not so easy to see. And you see on the left chart how, compared to the first data we could collect, EcoTerra can improve performances, cost performances compared to reactive and pigment, and on the right, water consumption. So how it is possible to cut? Water is quite intuitive. In fact, we skip many steps of the process that are high water, that are requesting a lot of water, but we are also improving on the pigment itself, improving the printer itself performances. And however, we know that sustainable many times is not really talking so easily with competitive costs. These are data collected on sample cases, and we will be available to discuss further with any customer or anyone interested. But what we could do is that even though pigment inks, as it is right to be, and the printer itself may be more expensive compared to a standard technology, at the same time, the possibility to save on pre and post, especially considering current energy costs, can make Ecoterra really a help, both in terms of cost effectiveness as well as sustainability. And last, I don't want to repeat, but when you talk about pigment, as Luca anticipated, it is crucial to work on an appropriate and very accurate color management. Thanks to the new partner in crime, I would say, that Inedit is for us today, part of the group since last June, we are starting to deliver solutions to our customers to help them also in this perspective. And so putting together a complete experience in order to improve their complete workflow, including color management as well. That is crucial for results, but at the same time, the most economic solution in terms of in consumption. And so, just to summarize, we have great trends in the industry. We have great challenges huge challenges for our customer on the other side. What we are trying to do is really to provide our contribution. And we will continue, we are doing that, and we will continue to develop, so see you at ITMA 2023, with working on effective total cost of ownership, and so improving what can be improved in the hardware in order to maximize uptime and reduce any hidden costs. Continue to work on short and green processes. This is the direction. It was great to hear from Gianluca just before me. That is the direction, trying to help our customers to make these flows easy to handle, but also effective in terms of performances. And above all, putting a lot of effort in terms of software through integrated workflows, thanks to the integration with Inedit, but also leveraging data and through artificial intelligence may enable our customer to improve their business control and their performances, looking at the data that are there, but that sometimes are not so easy to look at. This is everything I have for you today. I really thanks for your patient attention, and I will remain available for any question you may have.
Any questions from the audience here? Nope. Okay. From a virtual attendee, there's a question related to what you mentioned as the advanced factory analytics. Can you explain more about the production benefits and where you think the cost savings will come in the production line?
Absolutely, and thanks for this question. This is a topic that was immediately a challenging question when we were asked the first time by our sales manager this spring. And where we see saving, I've said that, and I'm not scared of repeating that. It is a printer, it is a solution, it is an ink that is definitely more expensive. The benefits, however, that are coming to our customers, and we did some math also with some Italian customers, really on paper, is that as of today, with the rising energy costs, unfortunately, starting up a stander machine, a washing line, besides the sustainability impacts that we know, is also becoming challenging in terms of energy cost. Yesterday, we've heard from Stamperia di Lipomo that their cost in terms of energy has become 10 times higher. Considering this scenario, we are able today, looking at this pigment solution, to really save that energy that would be required for ancillary equipment or for some ancillary equipment. And this is improving somehow, in this current scenario, the total cost of ownership and the cost performance per meter.
Thanks, Nicole. Any other question? No? Okay. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.